You know what nobody tells you about being a UI UX designer? It's not the software or the endless design trends or even the tricky clients that make the job hard. It's that little voice in our head saying, I don't actually know what I'm doing. I mean, I've been there. You open that Figma file, stare at an empty screen, and just think, what if this is the project where everyone finally realizes I'm just winging it? And listen, every designer, literally every designer, from juniors to seniors, has had this thought. The difference is some people learn how to manage this feeling and keep working, others let it paralyze them. Here's the good news. Confidence isn't magic. It's not something you're either born with or not. It's a skill. And like every other skill out there, you can master it by practicing. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 brutally practical tips that helped me build confidence as a designer. And these tips are not your believe in yourself posters or find your passion fluff. These are the kind of mindset shifts that keep you moving when the imposter syndrome monster shows up at 2 a.m. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's break it down. Tip number 1. Your portfolio doesn't have to change the world. It just needs to get you paid. Most design work isn't glamorous. You're not designing or redesigning the next iPhone interface or creating the future of AI. You're probably fixing like a checkout flow or cleaning up a dashboard or making sure that a button looks like a button. And you know what? That's fine. That's the job. I know when you're starting out, the pressure to make your portfolio look like it belongs on Dribble or Behance is humongous. You scroll through those hyper-polished projects and think, if I can't design at that level, nobody's going to hire me. Well, wrong. Clients and employers don't need sexy. They need functional. They need designs that work, that solve problems, and that in the end make them money. So here's where confidence comes in. Stop trying to build a portfolio that will blow people's minds. Build one that shows you can actually get things done. If that means, for example, a case study about making a boring landing page convert better, perfect. That's real world. That's valuable. And that will get you hired. And perfectionism is a trap. Aim for done. Aim for useful. Because here's the kicker. Done gets you money. Confidence starts when you realize you don't need to be groundbreaking. You just need to be reliable. Tip number 2 is treat feedback like debugging, not judgment. Okay, so let's talk about feedback. The thing most new designers secretly fear. I remember I used to walk into design reviews with my heart racing, convinced the feedback would expose me as a fraud. Like the entire team was going to say, what is this? Did you even try? But here's the truth. Feedback isn't about you. It's about the work. Think of it like debugging code. Nobody screams at a developer because their code has bugs. It's expected. You write code, it has bugs, you fix them. That's the process. Well, design is the same. You make some choices, some of them work, some of them don't, but that's the process. Feedback is just people pointing out the bugs. So here's the mindset shift that helped me. Feedback isn't personal. It's not you're bad at design, it's the button isn't clear enough. Those are 2 completely different things. And let me give you a pro move. When you get feedback, don't start defending yourself right away. Write it all down, step away and pause, and look at it a bit later with fresh eyes. And trust me, some notes will be useful, some won't. Take what helps and just toss the rest. Confidence doesn't mean you think every design you make is perfect. Confidence means you can take feedback without wrecking your self-worth. Tip number 3, this is a job. Don't treat it like your identity. This one might sting a little, but hear me out. You are not your job. I know design feels personal. You pour hours into choosing typefaces, nudging pixels, and defending your decisions. But at the end of the day, this is work. You're not saving lives in an ER. You're not diffusing bombs. You're designing screen. And the moment you stop tying your entire identity to every button or color choice, your confidence will explode. Why? Because mistakes stop feeling like existential failures. They're just that, mistakes. You fix them, you move on. Think of it like cooking. If you burn a pancake, you don't go into a spiral thinking, oh my God, I'm such a bad human being. No, you just toss that burnt pancake and just pour another one. Well, design should be the same. When you treat design as a job and not a reflection of your soul, you free yourself up to actually enjoy it. You do the work, you collect your paycheck, and then you go live your life. And weirdly enough, this kind of detachment makes you a better designer because you're calmer, you're less defensive, and you're more willing to experiment. Confidence comes when you realize, hey, this is important, but it's not life or death. I can do my best, and that's enough. Tip number 4 is fake senior energy before you actually feel it. Okay, this one's a fun one. You know how sometimes seniors just radiate this sort of confidence, like they'll present the simplest wireframe with total authority, and everyone in the room would just kind of nod along like it's genius. Well, here's the secret. They don't know everything either. They learned how to talk about their work with conviction. So here's your hack. Start practicing senior energy now. You don't have to fake knowledge, but you can fake confidence in how you communicate. For example, instead of saying, I wasn't sure, but I just tried a different color and it ended up being okay. Try something like, I explored a couple of directions and this option balanced clarity and simplicity the best. So, see the difference? You're saying the same thing, but with intention. Even if your reasoning is as simple as, I picked this because it looked less messy than the other one. Own it. Frame it as a design choice, not an accident. The funny thing is that the more you practice speaking like this, the more you start to believe it yourself. That's how confidence builds. It's like training your brain. So, fake energy, and not in a cocky way, but in a clear, grounded way. And before long, it won't feel fake at all. Tip number 5, anchor yourself in reality, not inspiration boards. Here's the last one, and maybe the most important one for your confidence. Stop comparing yourself to fantasy projects. Dribble shots are like Instagram filters for design. They're polished, staged, and usually disconnected from real-world constraints. I mean, they look incredible because nobody had to deal with a client budget, accessibility requirements, or the fact that the dev team just straight out refused to implement half of the features you design. Real design is messy. It's compromises, revisions, and sometimes ending up with something way less sexy than you imagined. And that's okay, that's the job. Confidence grows when you measure yourself against reality, not against fantasy. So instead of asking, does my work look like that trendy Behance case study? Ask, did my design solve a problem? Did the user understand it? Did it get shipped? That's success. That's what clients pay for. That's what your portfolio should showcase. Every real-world win you stack, even if it's small, builds way more confidence than scrolling through inspiration boards ever will. So there you have it. 5 practical tips for building confidence as a UI UX designer or any designer. Your portfolio doesn't have to change the world. It just has to get you paid. And treat feedback like debugging, not judgment. And also remember that this is a job, not your identity. Also, faking senior energy before you feel it does help. And definitely anchor yourself in reality, not inspiration boards. Confidence doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. It comes from doing the work, stacking wins, and learning not to take every misstep so personally. The less you treat design like a performance of your worth, the more you can focus on the actual work. And that's when you quietly, steadily grow into a confident designer. So finish that coffee, open up your project and start designing something. It won't be perfect, it won't save the world, but it will be progress. And that's exactly how confidence gets built. And if you found this helpful, subscribe.